Hey y'all, welcome. Just give me a second, y'all. Just trying to do something with this hair. Cut it out, Chi Chi. Stop it. All right. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know what happened to Mariah today, y'all. You know, she texted me earlier, but it comes down to time. Zane, hey, cut it out. It comes down to time, and she's just not to be heard from. So, uh, you know, we're just gonna keep going on, and hopefully she'll pop up tomorrow. So I'm just trying to remember if we left off at 35 and 36. Okay. I think we're at 36, y'all. Yeah, we're at 36. So yesterday we were at 35. So I'm going to do a quick recap. Let me share this real quick. Hold on, y'all. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Perfect. All right. So let me go and do the recap. Okay, so yesterday we read 35. And let me see if I can remember everything that happened. Okay, so basically in chapter 35, this is where Moses now has gathered all the people of Israel, and he's finally able to tell them the commandments of the Lord. And so he tells them about the Sabbath day. If they work on the seventh day, everyone shall rest. And if anyone works on that day, they surely will die. we talked about how it's not so much of a physical death, but a spiritual death. And we also talked about the building of the tabernacle, and how Moses was telling everybody about the tabernacle and all the materials necessary needed for the tabernacle. And everyone decided to contribute something to build the tabernacle. So whether it was gold, silver, bronze, whether they were contributing goat skins or lamb skins, or I meant goat hair or lamb skin, oils, spices, um, the different yarns. I think it was blue, scarlet, and purple yarns. Everybody, pretty much out of all of those, 600,000 minus 3,000 men, everyone contributed to building the tabernacles. And so everyone contributed, and turned out to be a really big success. And then, let's see. So in the building of the tabernacle, then Moses is letting everyone know that it's going to be pretty much two guys as the main craftsmen for building the tabernacle, because the Lord has put his spirit in them. And the two guys were, what's their names? Let me see if I can find their names real quick. Aholib and Bezalel. Aholib, yeah. Aholiab and Bezalel. Gigi, cut it out. So, and the Lord put a lot of gifts in them. Hello, where are you reading from? I'm doing a recap of chapter 35 of Exodus. We're about to get into chapter 36. But basically, basically Moses is letting the people know that the Lord had anointed Bezalel and Aholiab to be the craftsmen. So they were basically going to, they're going to craft the stones, or craft the stones, craft the acacia wood, put the tent together with the yarns and the skins and the goat hairs. They're gonna build the clothes for the priests. They're pretty much going to do everything. They have all the skills necessary, and they also have the Spirit of the Lord within them to do so. And so now we're in Exodus 36. I'm reading from the English Standard Version off of the Bible app, YouVersion. If you have a physical Bible, I encourage you to pull it out. And before we get started, I'm just going to do a quick prayer. I'm going to do a really simple prayer to lead us in here. So, our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us for our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. All right. So let's get into it. So just quickly, if you've never been here in these Bible studies with us, usually it's me and my friend Mariah doing them together. Mariah's not here today. I couldn't get in touch with her. I hope she's okay. But the show got to keep on rolling, because we had a goal today. We're almost done with we're almost done with the book of Exodus. We're at 36, and we should be done before the end of the week. Today is Wednesday, so we have today, tomorrow, and Friday, and we have just these last 4 chapters. So we're gonna powerhouse through these, right? But usually how we do the Bible study is we're basically reading through the Bible, and interpreting it as we go together. And so I encourage you guys, as you're listening in and joining me, to comment. I'll stop and read your comments. This is a group discussion, so you share your interpretations, your understandings, and I'll share mine, of course. So we just bounce off of each other, and so that's how these Bible studies have been going. That's how they go. And so I just wanted to share that because I have noticed that other people hold Bible studies a little differently. And I think it's important for us to get full context to read through it instead of just selecting some verses and interpreting the verses. And so that's what we got going on over here. We're going to continue on. And I'm just going to get started, okay? Let's have some fun. All right, so Bezalel and Aholiab, and every craftsman in whom the Lord has put skill and intelligence to know how to do any work in the construction of the sanctuary shall work in accordance with all that the Lord has commanded. And Moses called Bezalel and Holiab and every craftsman in whom mind the Lord had put skill, everyone whose heart stirred him up to come to do the work. And they received from Moses all the contribution that the people of Israel had brought for doing the work on the sanctuary. They still kept bringing him free will offerings every morning, so that all the craftsmen who were doing every sort of task on the sanctuary came, each from the task that he was doing, and said to Moses, "The people bring much more than enough for doing the work that the Lord has commanded us to do." So Moses gave command and word and proclaimed throughout the camp, "Let no man or woman do anything more for the contribution for the sanctuary." So the people were restrained from bringing, for the material they had was sufficient to do all the work and more. So, that was power, y'all. That was power. So at this point, okay, if you guys were with us in previous chapters, basically what happened was, the Lord had took Moses up for 40 days, for 40 nights to create these tablets, the stones, with the commandments on it. And when he sends them back down, they're like worshiping a golden calf. And that's why I said minus 3,000 men, because Moses had instructed the men from the Lord to go around, and anybody who was not sold out to the Lord, anybody who was not holy unto the Lord, and just didn't have their faith and belief in the Lord, to go and kill those men. And it was about 3,000 men that lost their lives that day. And ever since then, and the people see the work of the Lord, and they just know that, okay, from this point on, we're going to do our best to follow the rules and the commandments of the Lord. By the way, at this point when Moses had came down, he wasn't able to give them the commandments yet. So they kind of knew better, but they're also still stuck in their own ways. So at this point now, they're like, okay, now we really know better. We're going to be right. And so they're doing everything that they can to make sure that they're in compliance and they are worshiping nothing else but the Lord. And they are coming through, and just as much as the Lord is providing for them, they want to provide for the Lord, right? And so at this point, I think it's just so powerful, because everybody, like I said, 600,000 people minus those 3,000 people. All these people are coming, and they're offering and offering and offering and offering all these different things. And not only just for one day, every morning they're bringing something, to the point where they don't need anything else. They have everything they need to build everything. And so I just think it was powerful that Moses had to tell them, all right, no more contributions. No more contributions. Thank you for all your contributions, but we're good now. Like, don't bring in anything else. Keep your stuff. You know. I just thought that was powerful. Anyways, I'll continue. I'm at verse 8. And the craftsmen among the work and the craftsmen among the workmen made the tabernacle with 10 curtains. They were made of fine twined linen and blue and purple and scarlet yarns, with cherubim skillfully worked. The length of each curtain was 28 cubits, and the breadth of each curtain 4 cubits. All the curtains were the same size. He coupled 5 curtains to one another, and the other 5 curtains he coupled to one another. Excuse me. He made loops of blue on the edge of the outermost curtain of the first set. Likewise, he made them on the edge of the outermost curtain of the second set. He made 50 loops on the one curtain. He made 50 loops on the edge of the curtain that was in the second set. The loops were opposite one another, and he made 50 clamps of gold and coupled the curtains one to the other with clasps, so that the tabernacle was a single whole. He also made curtains of goat's hair for a tent over the tabernacle. He made 11 curtains. The 11th of each curtain was 30 cubits, and the the length of each curtain was 30 cubits, and the breadth of each curtain 4 cubits. The 11 curtains were the same size. He coupled 5 curtains by themselves and 6 curtains by themselves, and he made 50 loops on the edge of the outermost curtain of the one set, and 50 loops on the edge of the other connecting curtain. And he made 50 clasps of bronze to couple the tent together, that it might be a single whole. And he made for a tent a covering of tan ram skin and goat skin. So, I think it's interesting how detailed it is, and how they're building it. I wish I could see a visual. I don't know if anybody else is a visual learner, but I'm very much a visual learner, so it would help me a lot to see exactly what they mean when they're saying this. But I'm sure it was beautiful, right? Anyway, so I'm at 20. Okay. Then he made the upright frames for the tabernacle of acacia wood. 10 cubits was the length of a frame, and a cubit and a half the breadth of each frame. Each frame had 2 tenons for fitting together. Okay, let's see what tenons are. I'm going to research this word, tenons. A projecting piece of wood made for insertion into mortise or other piece, joined by meanings of a tenon. Oh, okay. So basically it's a smaller piece. I'm going to show you guys this picture. So anybody who does like woodworks, you probably already knew what this is, but it's basically this piece right here is the tenon, right? So let's see. Okay, yeah. Each frame had 2 tenons for fitting together. He did this for all the frames of the tabernacle. The frames for the tabernacle he made thus 20 frames for the south side. And he made 40 bases of silver under the 20 frames, 2 bases under one frame for its 2 tenons, and 2 bases under the next frame for its 2 tenons. For the second side of the tabernacle on the north side, he made 20 frames, and there 40 bases of silver, 2 bases under one frame and 2 bases under the next frame. For the rear of the tabernacle westward, he made 6 frames. He made 2 frames for corners of the tabernacle in the rear, and they were separate beneath but joined at the top. They were separated. They were separate beneath but joined at the top. At the first ring, he made 2 of them this way for the 2 corners. There were 8 frames with their bases of silver, 16 bases under every frame, 2 bases. He made bars of acacia wood, 5 for the frames of the one side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the frame of the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the frame of the tabernacle at the rear westward. And he made the middle bar to run from end to end, halfway up the frame, and he overlaid the frames with gold and made the rings of gold for holders for the bars and overlaid the bars with gold. He made the veil of blue and purple and scarlet yarns and fine twined linen with with shrubum skillfully worked into it. He made it. With shrubum skillfully worked into it, he made it. And for it he made 4 pillars of acacia and overlaid them with gold. Their hooks were of gold, and he cast for them 4 bases of silver. He also made a screen for the entrance of the tent of blue and purple and scarlet yarn, and fine twined linen embroidered with needlework, and his 5 pillars with their hooks. He overlaid their capitals, and their fillets were of gold, but their 5 bases were of bronze. So basically, I'm not like a woodworker or like a construction worker or builder. And I'm sure somebody who is really good at that, you probably get an image way better than I can imagine right now. But from basically what I understand, the tabernacle, the tent is it's a triangle. And so there's the south side, there's the north side, and then the west side is the back of it. And so the back of it, and then I'm assuming the back of it is where, because we also know that in the inside, I guess they haven't really talked, they've been kind of talking more so about the frame and the outside of it, how it's built. They haven't really got into the inside yet, but we do know from the first time that Moses was talking with the Lord that the inside is supposed to be like there is a holy space that is cut off from the rest of the tabernacle where people are able to come in. People are able to come in, but in this holy space, this cut off space, nobody's able to see that space. That's where the Lord is supposed to be. Now, I know we did also talk about how the Lord was considering cutting off the people of Israel, as in like pointing them in the right direction, telling them where to go so that they get to the promised land, and kind of letting them figure it out on their own. but through communication with Moses and consideration, and really, working on his patience with the people. Um, we know that he had reconsidered that whole situation with Moses' influence, and he reconsidered the whole situation. And so I wonder if he's still going to have them build that where he will be able to meet the priest and commune with the priest, or if he's going to leave it as if he's only going to communicate with Moses. Now, we also didn't know that the Lord told Moses that you know, he's going to pass them up and cover his face so that he can't, him and the rest of the people of Israel, nobody can see the Lord's face. They'll only be able to see his back. So he's going to lead from the front, and they'll have to follow him from behind, so that he doesn't see the not necessarily wickedness, but the rigidness of the people and them being stuck in their old ways, so that he can work while he's working on his patience with the people. So, um, yeah, I really wish I could see like an image of the tabernacle. That would be like, that would help so much for me personally, because all these measurements and like explaining how to build it, like, it's good knowledge for somebody who knows how to take that knowledge and build it, but that's not me. That's not me. So you know I just want to see like the end result. How does it look? Like, ooh la la, like, I'm sure it was beautiful by the time they finished building it. But we still have a lot of time, so I think I'm gonna get into. Yeah, I'm definitely going to. Let me see something real quick, y'all. Uh, okay. Yeah. So I am gonna get into 37. So, making the ark. Uh, I read it, and then we'll see where we are by the time we finish this. But okay, so making the ark. This is chapter 37 of Exodus, right? So Bezalel made the ark of acacia wood. 2 cubits and a half was its length, a cubit and a half its breadth, and a cubit and a half its height. And he overlaid it with pure gold inside and out, and made a molding of gold around it. And he cast for it 4 rings of gold for its 4 feet, 2 rings on its one side, and 2 rings on its other side. And he made poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold, and put the poles into the rings on the sides of the ark to carry the ark. And he made a mercy seat of pure gold. 2 cubits and a half was its length, and a cubit and a half its breadth. So let me see something real quick. So I was trying to figure out what the mercy seat is, where God and man meet. So it looks like, excuse me, I'm gonna show you guys this image. So it looks like this is, well, this looks more accurate towards what it might be. Looks like this is the mercy seat. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but you can see, like, oh, I changed it, but this is also I wanted to go back. I feel like this represents it better. But this is the mercy seat on the ark, and so you can see the golden poles that they used to carry it, and then the box, and then the cherubim on the top. So I thought that was interesting. Let's see. Let's go back. Where am I? 7. And he made 2 cherubim of gold. He made them of hammered work on the 2 ends of the mercy seat. 1 cherubim on the one end, and one shrub on the one end, and 1 shrub on the other end. Of one piece with the mercy seat, he made the cherubim on its 2 ends. The cherubim spread out their wings above, overshadowing the mercy seat with their wings, with their faces one to another, towards the mercy seat where the faces of the cherubim were the faces of the cherubim. So just like that picture we showed. The colors remind me of Ash Wednesday and Easter. That's when they changed the colors of the cross or the robes. Oh, is that in like Catholic churches that they do that? Did you see the picture of the mercy seat? Because I don't think, yeah, I don't, not necessarily that they changed the color. I mean, everything was made out of gold. So I guess I'm a little confused by what you mean. But while I'm waiting for your reply, I'm gonna keep reading. So making the table, I'm in 37 verse 10. Exodus 37 verse 10. Making the table. He also made the table of acacia wood. 2 cubits was its length, a cubit its breadth, and a cubit and a half its height. And he overlaid it with pure gold and made a molding of gold around it. And he made a rim around it, a handbreadth wide, and made a molding of gold around the rim. He cast for it 4 rings of gold and fastened the rings to the 4 corners at its 4 legs, close to the frame were the rings as holders for the poles to carry the table. He made the poles of acacia wood to carry the table and overlaid them with gold. And he made the vessels of pure gold that were to be on the table, as plates and dishes for incense, and as bowls and flagons with which to pour drink offerings. Oh, huh. Baptist. Interesting. I just think that I find that interesting because I was also raised Baptist, but I guess we didn't necessarily, I don't remember, like, specifically anyone ever changing the colors of a cross or Even, them wearing robes. Like my grandpa was a pastor in a Baptist church, and I don't remember him ever wearing robes. I'm trying to remember. He probably did, but for the most part, I just remember him wearing different color suits. And he had some really sharp suits, uh, for sure. But you know what? I think I might remember the robes. You're right. You're right. But I really don't remember the color cross. The clothes on the table and the crosses outside would have a purple fabric. Yeah, white white and gold and purple. Yeah, the pastor's robes would be the same color too. I remember the white ones. I'm in Mississippi, so it could be just what we did. Yeah, see, my grandpa was also from Mississippi too, so I do remember the white. I remember, so I think it was like a white robe, and then, see, you're bringing memories back for me, and I thank you for that. But I do remember like a white robe, and then like I think in the middle, it was like a little purple strip, and I do remember cloths being laid out with purple on them. Um, but yeah. Um, but I just looked up the mercy seat, so I wonder if they have images of the tabernacle and the table. I wonder if they have images of the ark. Yeah, I don't see any images of the ark. I just see, yeah, they just have the mercy seat with the angels on it. I wonder if they have oh, wait, let's see if they got images of the table. Huh. Oh, okay. So I'm assuming the table would probably look something like this or something really close to it because there's the bars and then the golden legs. I thought it was going to be a little bigger, but I guess I don't fully understand what cubits, how big cubits are. Uh, Let me see if we can see an image of the tabernacle. Huh, interesting. So I don't know if this is it. This is what's popping up. This is what's popping up, but it kind of like this looks like the outside of it. Okay, so here's the inside of it. Here's what the inside looks like, and it does kind of look like how they described it. Like there's the oil lamps that's supposed to be in there, and then the table, and I guess this is the mercy seat right here. And then there's the cutoff for the private area in the back, the holy space. Oh, this is the mercy seat right here. So, I guess it sounded like it was a triangle instead of a rectangle. So yeah, I guess this is what shoot. I guess this is more so what I was thinking, something like that, but it's still, I don't know. But yeah, this is in the tabernacle where they would be doing their sacrifices. So interesting. I'm glad that Google is a thing to be able to provide images. Um, yeah. So I'm gonna keep reading though. Let's see. Let's see. So I'm at verse 17, making the lampstand. So he also made the lampstand of pure gold, which is what we just saw in the tabernacle. He made the lampstand of hammered work. Its base, its stern, its stem, its cups, its calyxes, its flowers were of one piece with it, and were 6 branches going out of its sides, 3 branches of the lampstand out to one side of it, and 3 branches of the lampstand out of the other side of it. 3 cups made like almond blossoms, each with calyx and flower on one branch, and 3 cups made like almond blossoms, each with the calyx and flower on the other branch. So for the 6 branches going out of the lampstand. Oh, you know what though? I think this is interesting because so when we were first reading about this back when Moses was creating the first set of tablets, right? And the Lord was describing this. This was before we looked it up. So this is the lampstand. Oh, awesome. This is literally okay. I like this picture. This is literally everything that they're building, right? Um, including some of the clothing for the priests, the priest sons. But right here, okay. So this is the lampstand that we're talking about. And so when we were first talking about this, I didn't catch this image at first. He was talking about branches coming out, and I was like, it kind of sounds like they're building a tree. But now I understand like this is something that the Jewish tradition uses, and I never knew what it was called, but this is what they use. I think around the holidays. I don't know. I don't think they celebrate Christmas. I think it's called something else. But whatever their Jewish religion is. But this is what they use around the holidays. Yeah, which I just think is interesting. I know that he's talking to the Jewish tradition. I mean, to the Israelites, but that was just something that clicked in my mind because I didn't catch that before. So I apologize for my slowness. But I'm gonna continue. So where did I leave off at? I think I'm at 20. So at 20, and on the lampstand itself were 4 cups made like almond blossoms with their calyx and flowers, and a calyx of one piece with it under each pair of the 6 branches going out of it. Their calyx and their branches were of one piece with it. The whole of it was a single piece of hammered work of pure gold, and he made its 7 lamps, and its tongues, and its trays of pure gold. He made it and all its utensils out of a talent of pure gold. Okay, so this was a lot of work that this guy had to put in for this. Like, I'm impressed, honestly, to make all of this and then to make it all out of gold, too. So, making the altar of incense. Oh, so maybe that's what that one was. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, so he made the altar of incense of acacia wood. Its length was a cubit. Its breadth was a cubit. Excuse me. Um, it was square, and 2 cubits was its height. Its horns were of one piece with it. He overlaid it with purple gold. Oh, sorry, with pure gold. His top and around his sides and his horns. And he made a molding of gold around it, and made 2 rings of gold on it under his molding, on 2 opposite sides of it, as holders of the poles with which to carry it. And he made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. He made the holy anointing oil also, and the pure fragrant incense, blended as by the perfumer. And so we know, like we talked about this before, that there was only, what did he call it? There was only authorized incense. Like there were only certain things that were able to be used as authorized incense, and we know that the cassia wood was one of them. And basically, they just had to kind of scrape the wood and use that as the incense. And I can't remember what else was used as an authorized incense. Uh, I'd have to go back a couple chapters, but uh, we know that there was only authorized incense that could be used on this table, which I'm gonna pull up this table again because now that we know this is it, yeah. So this is what the table of incense looked like. It's that one at the bottom right here. Which is pretty interesting. And so there was only authorized incense that can go on there, and you weren't allowed to burn. You weren't allowed to burn like just. Oh, you weren't allowed to burn those authorized incense just willy nilly either. Like they were sacred incense smells to be used only at twilight and in the morning for when they're doing their sacrifices. So interesting things, interesting things. Let's see. Yeah. Um, hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have any questions or anything that you want to add, Allie? Because, yeah, I think um, that's it. I think in the next chapter, which we'll probably touch it tomorrow, because it's getting pretty late. We got close to an hour here. But probably in the next chapter, they'll go into explaining like the basin that they use to wash their hands, and I think they use to wash their feet in it too. Um, ouch, Gigi. Yeah, and oh, the basin, and there's something else. But I know the basin was made out of bronze, and there was something else. There's something else. I don't know what this other thing is. They'll probably go into talking about the priests and their clothing too in the next chapter. So yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna end it here. So we just read through ooh, 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 verses 36 and 37. So tomorrow we're gonna pick up at 38. Probably be on Instagram, um, which is where we were supposed to be today. Okay. Yeah, which is where we were supposed to be today, but hopefully we'll be joined with Mariah tomorrow, so she's got more commentary on these type of things. But I'm going to pray us out of here. So, Divine Father, thank you for hosting this space and gathering us all here today. Thank you for the lessons out in your word. And thank you just for providing us the space to really dive deeper into your word and learning about, the the truth that you have for us, the guiding points that you have for us throughout our life. Lord, I just pray for guidance and protection through this holiday season for us all. Um, I pray that uh, I pray that you provide us all provisions throughout this season and throughout next year. Um, and for anyone who may really be seeking you and looking for your guidance and looking for your assistance and knowledge and really diving deeper into your word, Lord, I pray that you show up for your people and really show up with power and clarity and confidence and in a way that instills that within them, in the way that they are able to see you, Lord. And I pray that any demonic holds or any strongholds be shaken off of your people now in this season and moving forward, so that they may be able to walk in the fullness, in the full light of their authentic expression, who you created them to be, so that they may be able to glorify your name. So we all are able to glorify your name. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. So, cool. When will you join again? So we'll be on tomorrow. We'll probably be on Instagram. Um, on Instagram. So on Instagram, you'll find me at the same name as Lleo the Lion. On Instagram, though, is Leo_the_lion. Um, and we'll probably be on with my friend Mariah, who we usually do these Bible studies with. She wasn't able to join us tonight, but her name is Raya's Voyage on Instagram, which let me see if I can, where's that phone? Chi, what'd you do with my phone? Let me see if I can add the Instagram links, so you can go directly on Instagram. Let me see. Let's see. Where is it? Oh wait, hold on. Let me see. Chi, you're making me push the wrong buttons. Here it is. Share this. That's not it. Copy URL. So here's one. I apologize, my cat's being crazy right now. Here's one. You'll be able to find us here, or you'll also be able to find us. This is my personal page. So the first one is Mariah's page. We're usually on Instagram on Mariah's page. Like, she's the one leading the live on Instagram um, until she gets to 50 subscribers on YouTube. Then we'll be completely on YouTube. Until then, we kind of bounce back and forth from Instagram and YouTube. So you can either follow the first Instagram or the second one, either or. Those are where we're going to be tomorrow. We don't have a set time just yet because because it's the end of the year, it's the holidays, and we're both what kind of like our schedule is kind of crazy right now, so we're kind of just going live when we can. And awesome, thank you so much for following. Yeah, so we don't have like a set schedule just yet. So we're kind of just going live when we get the time. That's why I'm kind of on here late tonight. Usually we try to get on at least by 8 o'clock p.m. at the latest, but miscommunication. So we're just kind of getting on when we can until we get our schedules finalized, and then we'll have a set schedule every day, Monday through Friday. But we're always doing Monday through Friday, so you'll see us Monday through Friday, either IG or YouTube. But yeah, awesome. Well, hope to see you on another one for sure. It was nice talking with you, Ali, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.